Going on, people? Welcome to episode, what is this, 13
Oh, yeah,
of
13.
of
13.
Everybody Has a Mic podcast. It's your boy JT Malone, aka East Coast Legend. I'm leaving all the formers out this week. Time to move on, put them to rest. So we got another great pod for you. Mo, if you want to introduce yourself.
All right, everybody. My name is Mo. Motivate You One on Instagram. DJ Motivate You on TikTok. I DJ. I do a lot of things in fitness. And I'm here with my brothers. We'll have a good time tonight. Steve, holla at him.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. S.B. That via Instagram and LXB Galleries via Instagram as well for my artwork. I'm happy to be here as always with these two dudes. So looking forward to getting it in. Let's go.
All right. So I was talking to Steve the other day, and he said, "Yo, we gotta get into some hip hop." I'm taking your advice. I hope I didn't take your topic.
Oh, you didn't, but I thought it was coming a little later. Wow, we about to do
Okay. Yeah. So, but my topic is gonna be different.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go your greatest all times. I'm not gonna go greatest lyricist. I'm not gonna go greatest rapper, greatest MC. If you don't know that there's a difference, you don't know hip hop. Just letting that known to you people out there, the difference between a rapper and MC. So there's that. Who is the most underrated hip hop artist? You can name 3 of them. I'm gonna go with Mr. R&B himself, Mo Money to start. I see him looking in his mental Rolodex, so I'm picking him.
Yeah, I really am looking. I'm thinking about this because,
Underrated.
dang, that's a good question. Dang. 3
3. Just give 3.
rappers.
Yes. Hip hop artists.
I had to make sure.
MCs, lyricists, rappers.
Oh,
Artists.
because that's why I
artists.
said. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Underrated. Yes.
Dang, man. Well, I don't know if people know these people then.
Hey,
the
that's
point.
the whole
That's
point,
the
though.
point.
Bring
That's
light to them.
Yeah.
Well, okay. If that's the case, my 3, I'm going to say Big L.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Big L. And the reason why I'm going to say Big L is because he passed away maybe a little too fast before people could know him mainstream.
Yes.
You know what I'm trying to say? I
Yeah.
think that's where I'm going with that reason why I said Big L. Number 2, underrated. And when I'm and I just want to be clear, what I mean of underrated, because I don't know if underrated means different things to everybody, but underrated, where I'm coming from in my brain, is album sales and recognition.
Yeah.
Album sales and recognition. That's what I mean, because I'm not talking about lyrically. I'm not talking about lyrically, not that person. So I'm going to say the second one, I'm going to say Mos Def.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, the mighty Most Definitely.
Mighty Most.
My man, dog.
I think he gets
Yassine Bey.
disrespected.
Yassine Bey. Yes, he does.
Yeah, I think he gets disrespected.
Yeah.
Tag. The third one. So we got Big L, Mos Def. I don't want to say it.
I kind of
You
got
know,
a
he about to
sleeper.
go
Got a
on
sleeper.
camera.
I think he about to say it.
I
too.
don't want to say it.
I might have to.
I'm gonna don't laugh, people out there, but I'm gonna say one of the people that didn't get the light and didn't get it was one of the most underrated people. It's Cannabis.
Yo, he's not lying.
Oh
Not
no,
lying.
cannabis.
Slash is proud.
Cannabis.
Yeah, okay, I see you, dog. Brother, I see you, K. Cannabis all day. Cannabis got disrespected, dragged through the mud.
That was a setup, though. They set him up. That was
career
bad.
went plastic.
They set him up.
Career went plastic.
Yo, Wyclef is fucked up for that.
One of the best songs, on one of the best collaborations of all time, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
100%.
where Def Jam didn't allow. They asked LL Cool J to do the song to bring in the new rappers of Def Jam. which were DMX, Cannabis, and then you had the fillers, like our fillers of Method Man and Redman in there. And
I'm
and
sorry,
that whole
man.
thing escalated crazy.
It was such
They
a
had
horrible
Cannabis.
setup. Why did he get the verse after Cannabis wrote his already? It was such a bad. Yeah,
Well, it was
came
LL song.
crazy. You
It
know,
was,
right.
it was LL song.
But
And
why he
LL,
go nuts like that?
well,
He played
because
that
he
man.
said it's the chain, this chain. I like the chain and the tattoo in your arm, dog. He was admiring him.
He was on that Canadian fanboy shit, and then he got his ass roasted
by Queen.
Yes, LL. He shouldn't have changed his verse, LL, after he heard him.
That was messed up.
That was foul, but I mean, you can't be going around people
career,
on fanboy.
Nah, LL really gave it to him. It was bad. It was bad.
Cannabis had that Mike Tyson in the beginning.
And it was really all Wyclef. It was all really Wyclef's fault.
It was Wyclef's fault, 100%.
Because Wyclef said, "Oh, you could allow him to do this. You gotta allow him to do." LL called him and said, "Don't do it. Leave it right where it is." And he did.
He should have left it alone, because listening to that song, I didn't know he was talking about cannabis.
We did not know. We did not know. Snatch your head and crush it. Nah, we didn't know.
You didn't know that.
We really didn't know, Steve.
You talking LL didn't say, like, you?
No, we're saying
Cannabis on that track.
We didn't know he dissed Cannabis on that track.
Yeah, we didn't know he was dissing Cannabis. When you first heard 4321, which I'll never forget, because it was freshman year, and that's when the hottest hip hop came out, was when I was 14 years old, to argue with your motherfucking mama. 1997, 98.
Some good times.
You had some of the hottest MCs ever put out albums. You got the last Biggie album, God rest his soul. That came out in 97. I was 13, about to be 14. You had Cameron debuted, DMX debuted. Shit, I can't even remember who else. It was so many. They had the Survival of the Illest tour on Def Jam. Onyx was out here killing it.
Onyx was
their
killing
second and third album.
Shout out to Onyx. Shout out to Onyx.
So, that 357, or was it?
Yeah, 357 Cam.
357 Cam is one of my favorite tracks ever.
Mace was 98.
Mace was killing, dog.
I know Steelers and they ain't from Pittsburgh. He went hard on that, man.
Say it again, JC. What'd you say? AZ was out there destroying.
AZ. Firm. The Firm was out. We had everything. So, like I said, argue with your mama. We had Wu-Tang Forever came out that year, 97. Best year for hip hop. Suck your mother if you want to disagree.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna say Yasin Bey, hands down. I think what Yasin Bey, formerly known as Mos Def, provided to the culture, it's crazy. He bigs up his city all the time. He's from Brooklyn. He's always talking about his people. He's very deep. I listened to the Dave Chappelle joint. Oh God, it's eluding me at the moment. That's so horrible.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Midnight Miracles. Midnight
Miracles, yeah.
And that's what got me into podcasts. I never listened to podcasts prior to like listening to that. And I was like, yo, it was really cool. And I was like, there's three dudes that invite other people on and speak, and they're friends, just like we are right now. It definitely inspired me. So Midnight Miracles is a great listen. But Mos Def, Yasin Bey is hands down, I think he's a very underrated rapper, as well as Pharoah Monch. Pharoah Monch is disgusting. I love hip hop, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. I listen to it from a different perspective in a lot of different ways, right? So I think Pharoah Monch was a ridiculous lyricist, and
100%.
he was a great hip hop artist, but it felt like it was too much of what hip hop was from the beginning. They hold that. They hold the KRS-One energy, the purest of hip hop artists are the ones that are most underrated, because they're the ones that's honestly telling you a message and speaking to you and feeding you what's happening in the streets outside of, a lot of other things that happen in the streets all the time. So I feel like Pharoah Monch is one of those dudes as well. And I got to be honest, man, it's a tag team duel, right? But 3000 is so dope.
No.
I think Big Boy's underrated, bro.
Thank you. Because I thought you was about to say Three Stacks.
No. I'm not saying that he's better. I'm not saying that he's better than
He's underrated.
3000. What I am saying is 3000 is, I mean, Big Boy is nice.
I wanted to
he's
say
just
this.
gets overshadowed by 3000, but Big Boy can spit heavy. Yeah, he barely steps on the verse and doesn't say what he needs to say, and that's what makes them one of the most powerful duels of all time. Because the second man in the duel is he's just so thorough with it, but then 3000's light years away. You know what I mean?
I wanted to bring him up, Steve. I wanted to bring him
Big
up.
Boy's nice.
I couldn't do it. If we had 4, I would have did it.
Boom, 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 boom. Y'all join rock, man. Dog, oh man.
Yo, at one point, people forget Big Boy was considered the better lyricist at one point. Other two.
Yeah,
96, 97. Yes, because remember, he got nominated for Lyricist of the Year, and he lost to Eminem at the Source Awards one year.
Oh yeah,
because remember he was on the Missy All in My Grill, and he roasted that verse.
All in My Grill.
Yes, and he had a couple of other verses that he featured on that year, and he was killing everything he was spitting.
Crazy.
And
nice.
He was getting the props at the time. Yeah.
Oh, he's so thorough.
So I'm with you. I thought you was going to say 3 Stacks. I was like 3 Stacks.
Oh no,
so much hype. But go on. Who's your number 3?
He's on the opposite. Those are my 3. I got Yasin Bey, Pharoah Monch.
Oh, that's right.
And Big Boy. Yeah, Big Boy. Those are my 3. What about yourself, bro? Talk to me now. This is a great topic, by the way.
Okay, I got the ghostwriter of all ghostwriters on my list. Saha the Prince. If it was not for this man, Saha the Prince, the last 15 to 20 years of y'all favorite MCs, rappers would not exist. From your Travis Scotts to your Kanye's. I don't know if he wrote for Drake. He probably did. This man has, I don't even know how many Billboard hits that he's credited as a writer.
Yeah.
People don't even know the man's name.
I hate that.
Nothing but hot fire. I've been following him since he did the verse on the Dark Twisted Fantasy. I went out and got all his mixtapes. I think it was like Royal Flush 1, 2, 3. I had all of them. He had New Africa was fire, that track. He had so many tracks and they just go nowhere. He had a diss track against his own record label and and they didn't respond because they didn't want the smoke from his pen game. He did Pusha T and Kanye West and told him to drop him off the label because they was holding him back. They dropped that man. He put his album out a year later. Super dope. They had to drop him from the label because they was just taking his ideas. Elephant in the Room. Look it up. Saha the Prince. Shit's all over Kanye and Pusha T. They wanted no smoke with that man.
I'm surprised Pusha didn't say nothing, but okay.
You better not.
Yeah, you don't mess with fire, baby. I don't care how hot you are. You don't put your hand in lava if you're fire. Just saying. The Drake Pusha T battle. Saha didn't ghostwrite. But Saha was in the room when Pusha T wrote that song. And Nas was in that room. He had to set out.
And Nas was in the room.
Nas and Saha the Prince was in the room when Pusha T wrote Story of Adidon. So he had literally the God MC Nas sitting there and the ghostwriter of ghostwriters sitting there in the room and was telling him, you got to come harder, bro. We're not going to tell you what to say, but you got to come harder. So Saha the Prince was in that room.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Saha the Prince. I'm tempted to say Conway the Machine.
Oh yeah.
Is that my man?
He's got Bell's palsy. Nothing but fire. He be spitting heavy. Woo! And the reason I'm bringing it out, I'm pretty sure people who listen to our pod might mess with Conway the Machine, but I'm about to mess people's heads up right now. There was like a Smack DVD or a Cocaine City DVD back in 2005, 2006. Conway was on it. And they was like, oh, we going up to Buffalo. We got some spitters up there in Buffalo. And I'll never forget watching it. It's a room full of people. And everybody's like, oh, they going to Buffalo. I ain't listening to this shit. And people got up and left out the room. This is when I used to hang out the old Truman House where all the crazy stories happen. And people got up and went out the room. And my one boy was like, yo, these dudes is actually kind of nice. And I was like, yo, I said, unfortunately, they from Buffalo. They never going to get a shot. That was 2006. Spitting crazy. No one paid attention because they was from Buffalo. I got tapped back in 2016, so 10 years later, when he had this album called The Black Tape. I had heard this dude had signed to Shady Aftermath or whatever, and I heard a song on the radio because they would only play his shit at like 5 in the morning, 7 in the morning, even on satellite radio. And he was signed to the damn label Shady Records. It was on Shade 4-5, and they still wasn't playing them mainstream time. And I went and looked them up and found these mixtapes, and I was like, how's nobody listening to this cat? This dude is fire. So from Conway, I found Benny the Butcher. I found West Side Gun. I found 38 Special. I found El Camino. These are all upstate New York rappers that are murdering it right now.
Yeah.
If you're a true hip hop head, you know all about the Trust movement. You know about the Griselda movement. But most people don't. And for me, Conway is the one who got me to listening to all those dudes from upstate New York, because they be spitting the raw. They spit the stories that we all enjoyed growing up, and they actually showed rappers like Lloyd Banks and Ransom, and I'm trying to think, there's one other one that came back out recently and has been killing it, but basically showed people that you don't gotta sound like down south, you don't gotta sing like Drake, you don't have to, make hyphy music like G-Eazy and everything, and you can still make money. And Conway was the bars is crazy. Like, I always go back and forth, who's better, Benny or Conway? And I'm always like, Benny, that's my guy. I've seen him in concert a couple of times. I got his merch. And then I'll put on a Conway song. I'm like, oh, this dude he starts going and he'd be spitting. He'd be like, talk to him in the background. And he just keep flowing on you. So I got Conway is underrated, even though people probably don't think so. I think he's underrated. He deserves to be out here more in the forefront for what he puts on and what he brings to the game. And number 3, this one I'm on the fence with it, because I found out recently he wasn't writing his lyrics, and I kind of feel a certain type of way about it. I'm gonna go Memphis Bleak.
I love me some Bleak, man.
Bleak is see.
I love me some Bleak.
I like Bleak, yo. I like Bleak.
I'm not gonna put him as underrated though. I don't think
underrated.
I think he could have been something special.
He could have been, if he wasn't with Jay-Z, I think he would have been bigger.
I just don't always say
he might not have even had the opportunity to get on. Don't get me wrong. He was not. He had some nice rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Nice bars, depending upon the placement on whatever verse. But if Bleak, I wouldn't call him underrated. You know what I mean? Especially considering that
he's underrated.
One of his biggest songs, Jay gave it to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, have that. What's the joint where
that's your chick?
Yeah.
That's a hot track.
That joint's tough. And it was hot, it was a dope video. They playing, tennis shit. It was cool. Yeah, I mean, Pretty Boy dude. But
he was the first one to put the Lamborghini doors on the Escalade. He did it before 50 talked about it. Round Here video, he had T.I. and Trick Daddy on the track. He wasn't putting down south cats on.
He was that guy. He
opened the door.
Opened the door.
That's coming to New York.
Yeah, he was innovative. He was thinking out of the box early. And you know what? This comes to, I'm happy you said him, JC. I'm happy you said him, because that's it. This is an example, people, of regardless of who your friends are, whatever you want to say, whoever your friends are, you have to take it. You have to really take it. He didn't take it. He didn't take it. No, he didn't. Opportunity, dog.
All right, fool. That was.
You had Pepsi Le Pew energy. He thought you had Pepsi Le Pew energy.
That was crazy, man. The placement was nuts.
No, it wasn't. You gotta relax. You gotta take it, man. Now I gotta sound crazy.
Take your opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
No. Everybody knew what I was saying. Damn, dog. Like, here you go. Take it. Viciously. Anybody talking all that fruity pebble stuff, man. Yeah, dog. What's wrong with you? All this sweet cake stuff, man. 2025 got everybody messed up, man. Fruity pebbles. on your BBL. Pause. That's ridiculous. Oh man. But anyway, people, like I was saying before, this dude brought up some Fruity Pebbles energy that I didn't say. Yo, you have a friend, you got Bill Gates, you got somebody like that. Listen, they can't do it for you, man.
Yeah.
You gotta really take the opportunity.
See,
Take the opportunity and really take it there.
Yeah,
it's
In
true.
the opportunity.
but he wasn't nice. If he was writing your rhymes,
No.
he was getting a lot of his rhymes. You started by saying the rhymes written, right? So,
well, that's what Dame Dash said recently. And
but you don't believe it?
no, I was just about to tell you, I'm from the school of Dame Dash, sir. So I believe 95% of what comes out of Dame Dash's mouth, because Dame Dash is of the mindset, I put my niggas on, my niggas put their niggas on. And that's how you're supposed to be when you're getting money. So I always have subscribed to that. There wasn't a time where I was doing something illegal and my friends didn't have money too, because I ain't trying to get robbed. But the point that I'm making is I'm from the school of Dame Dash. Dame Dash said it. I see Bleak a little differently, because he said Hove wrote some of those rhymes when he was first coming up, when he was like 15, 16 years old. But it don't take away from the fact that he had some crazy bangers.
He did.
And people don't bring his name up. People forget the summer of 2003, 2004, when you was playing your favorite basketball game, you was listening to Memphis Bleak on the NBA Lives.
Yes, you were.
You was listening to him on NBA Streets. You was listening to him on Madden. He had it on Smash at one point. He had the Just Blaze Productions behind him. He was riding the beats crazy. And he remember, he was on the team with Beanie Siegel, Jay-Z. Then they brought Cameron in. Cameron had a whole team of cats. Beanie Siegel had a whole crew. He had one dude with him. He had G to K with him. And I think Street Life was with Method Man. But he had G to K with him. These other dudes came on. They had 5, 6 other cats spitting with him. It was just Bleak was out there like the low man on the totem pole, and he was the first dude they signed to Rockefeller.
Think about it like that. And think about it like this, Steve, even more in the catalog. You remember Drumline, the movie with Nick Cannon?
Yeah.
Bleak was supposed to be.
That's right.
Bleak was supposed to be actually that Nick Cannon role.
Yes.
He was supposed to be headlining of he was supposed to be the lead actor in Drumline.
Wow.
And he didn't accept it. His agent,
movie.
yeah, but his agent agent wanted him to do it. I forgot the head of whoever wanted him to do it, because he was down with him. And
at the time too.
And Bleak did not understand that stuff like that changes your whole trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be in it. When you have so much things going your way, you have to want it. Can't nobody want it for you, especially when you're right there.
We could be talking about Ice Cube, Will Smith, Memphis Bleak, greatest actors of all time to come out of hip hop
actors of all time. We got the Method Man up in there too.
Meth's doing well. Shout out to Meth.
Yeah,
Power. I seen him.
But yeah, so like I said, I don't even remember my 3. I got Memphis Bleak, because we can talk about Bleak for so long now.
Bleak, Concord, and what's the name? Sci-Hi to God.
Yeah,
I got a print. I was gonna say Black Thought.
I don't think he's underrated though.
But I was gonna say him being on Tonight Show has brought him to the masses.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, they have fire albums going back to like 94, 95. Mm-hmm. And some of those albums didn't even go platinum until they got to the Tonight Show. So that shows how underrated the Roots are. That's my favorite band.
Yeah, without question. Black Thought is in my top 5 favorite MCs. Yeah. Black Thought is an instrument though, like, which is crazy. Well, I saw a breakdown on the Roots as a band, and they said that Black Thought is the reason why they don't consider him one of the greatest lyricists is because he's an instrument in the band. You know what I'm saying? Which is weird, right? But they consider him to be like what finishes the band as far as a musical ambiance. So they don't necessarily look at his beats because everybody behind him is, I mean, his rhymes, everybody behind him is getting busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like a completely different thing. But did you know that their catalog is numbered from one all the way? Like every time they come out with another like album, whatever, it's like chronologically like numbered.
They put a number in it. I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
yeah. They go from like one to whatever they're doing.
Mm.
So so dope. Roots is
They're
fine.
dope.
But, all right, yeah, for sure.
So who got next? Stevie B, Mo Money. Who going?
Go for it, Steve.
All right, so I was like struggling with a couple different things, even while I was sitting here talking to y'all. But I think I'm gonna go with this one. So more recently, I saw something where it said, you know, would you sell your likeness for $200,000 to a company that will put your likeness, voice, and face and feature on robots walking around? $200,000. Is that something that would you consider doing? And how much of this, which is happening with the robots and stuff like that, do you think is starting to become that much more serious? How much more sooner do you think we'll see this level of technology that's been walking around the streets in other countries or whatever the case may be, but more recently and like more to date? When do you think this technology will be moving in the streets? I'll send it to you. Well, money.
Yeah, 200,000 is not enough money for that for me.
No, we just was talking about 300,000 not being none.
Yeah,
big facts.
200,000 for your likeness. After taxes, 200. Well, probably not. Maybe. But anyway, I'm thinking too deep into it. Tell us how you really feel. I hear her.
I muted her.
She got stuff to say. She's like, yo, I'm in the pod right now. Say, y'all gonna hear me. But listen, 200,000 is not enough for my likeness, voice, everything like that. I think I can monetize more for my own voice and likeness, 200,000. But again, I know a lot of people will probably do that. But then I have a bad feeling about this whole thing. It's almost like Terminator.
I've been saying this, man.
Yeah,
You've heard me in the pod for a very long time talking about 1984 and Connor and come on, man.
Yeah, stop playing.
You got the cyberpunk background behind you, so you really believe it.
I mean, it's not a joke, man. It's dead.
No, I'm with you.
It's dead up. It's happening. And it's like they tell you this stuff before it actually happens to you. They've been feeding it into our generation that's on the planet now. Since when 1984 came up, they was like, there's going to be robots moving around and it's going to be a thing. And they can have the possibility of taking over and killing you. And we're just like, hoorah! You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't understand it.
But again, think about it like this even more, Steve. They've been saying it since 84. So think about it. Think about how many times they've been trying and revamping these artificial beings since the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s to now. This is not out the blue.
Yeah, without question.
All it took was time, more technology, time, and somebody with billions and billions and billions of dollars that maybe we don't, but maybe we don't see. Because think about it like this: that man that you just brought up, Elon, he be taking companies.
Yeah,
he don't be creating nothing. He be buying companies, and then say he the one that did it. No,
that's believe him, and they believe him. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, they believe him all they want. They know good damn well that man buys stuff. I know a lot of upper millionaires. I'm not gonna even. I don't like to talk about people's money, but y'all upper millionaires. I ain't gonna even say billions because I don't know their money like that. But let's just say in the high echelon that will actually talk to that man, and have meetings with that man, and they don't create the stuff. They pay people to be partners with them or to buy out their idea. They don't think about it. They have the money, but they
That's
don't
it.
think about it. They're not the ones thinking about it or actually executing on it. They have other people to do it, and the money makes money. It's such a deep pause thing about I gotta watch you ever since his own. Nah,
Hey,
no,
man.
I watch you since that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, I know Fruity Pebbles energy. You
No Fruity
think you
Pebbles.
coming out of my mouth. But anyway, nah, 200,000 is not. I don't think it's enough for your likeness, your voice, your mannerisms, anything like that. No, because to me, I don't think that has to do with putting that into actual AI robots. I think that's actually cloning. It's borderline cloning. What they're really trying to do. They're trying to clone you with your consent, without your consent.
That shit crazy.
That's what I think this really is. They're trying to clone you. And they're not saying that. So I think the voices and likeness of people is the start of open cloning. I think they've been cloning artists, Michael Jackson's. I heard there was 2 or 3 Kanye West.
Gucci Mane, they said they clone him.
Yeah.
Yo, you remember that movie that came out last year, right? Movie that
I
came
didn't
out.
watch it.
Neither
but
did
I
I.
know
My
what you're talking
dad
about.
was like, "Yo, you need
They
to watch
cloned
this."
Tyrone.
Yeah, they cloned Tyrone.
Oh,
They
no.
cloned Tyrone
That was
crazy.
wild. That was wild, y'all.
Yeah, I've heard.
That was wild. I mean,
Yeah.
but the cloning is real. Supposedly Jada Kiss was saying it because they said something about Kanye West recently. He was like, "Which one?"
Yeah,
Like,
it's
"What do you
true. I
mean?"
do remember him saying that.
Yeah,
Which
and
one?
it was like, yeah, he's like, "Which one?" And it was like, "What do you mean, which one?" He's like, "Which Kanye West are you talking about?" He's like, "I met 2 of them, or he met 3 of them."
What?
Yeah, Kanye.
Yeah, he
He's
said
like,
it.
yeah, yes. He said Kanye West. He knows Kanye West, and then he's seen the Kanye West, the clones, the ones people think that's it. They said you don't know who you think that is. So a person is talking possibly this stuff that is being said about the Jewish community or certain things. He's like, you don't know if that's him or not. He's like, I know the difference. I know which Kanye is what Kanye, because he's seen it. He's seen it in real time. Kanye, Jada Kiss said it. He's like, listen, they cloned.
Look up this dude. I don't like to bring light to corny mumble rappers, but there was this dude a few years ago. His name was Kid Boo. And he did an interview, and it's also, I don't like to bring this dude up either because he's a culture vulture on Vlad TV. And the dude was like, they start asking him, like, where were you born? He's like, oh, the original me was born in 1993. He goes, but I don't remember anything before 2007 because that's when I escaped from. And he named some company out in California that it's a cloning company. And if you look it up, they say they clone shit.
Yeah.
And he said he escaped and that they've been trying to catch him ever since. And he said since he got into doing rap, they left him alone. I mean, he didn't blow up, but he said he was a clone, this dude.
Remember Martin was running in the streets?
Yes.
He exhausted and saying they were trying to kill him. They were trying to capture him. And he was
I've been hearing this Martin thing more recently.
You remember that? He was running in the streets. We were younger. And he passed down the street, was running. If you go back and start hearing Martin on Arsenio Hall and how he was talking about Black people in the unity and what we need to be doing and certain things about the culture and everything like that. And then you bring up that time when he was running, sweating and running for his life out in the heat with a full sweatsuit on, running for his life.
In LA
in the summer. In the summertime.
97 degrees, some wild shit.
Yeah, some real heat. Humidity was on 110. And this man was running out there saying they're trying to kill him. Please help him.
I do remember that briefly. It was like it had to be like the 2000s, early 2000s.
No, it was the 90s.
90s? He still was popping. I think it was towards the end of Martin.
Yeah,
97, 98?
Yeah,
around that time.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, 97, 98.
It was the end of the 90s when that happened to him. But I do remember that happening. And then I also remember seeing what we've seen more recently in like the Bad Boys. It doesn't seem like
Yes.
himself. Now, no, now don't get me
They say
wrong.
that's the clone deteriorate. That's
Yeah,
what people have been saying.
yeah, and I mean extra heavy. I mean, I don't know, man. That, but we were talking about the 200,000, right? So the 200,000, like, why are we worried about them paying us 200,000 if supposedly they're already out here doing it? So it's almost like they're feeding into the narrative by saying, "Hey, I'll give you, basically at the moment $2,000 because $200,000 ain't much money. Or it's nothing to scarf at, but it's also not nothing like
It's not
completely
life
change your
changing.
life. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get that money, put a
But
payment down on your mortgage and keep it moving, right? But
yeah, you can't
is
even
that
get a
worth
house for 200.
exactly? Is that worth you walking down the street and staring at yourself, Justin?
No. So this is my standpoint on it. Here, peep the scenario. I'm down and out. I'm fucked up out here in these streets. I can't get a job making more than $7 an hour. I got kids to feed. They come and say, Mr. Malone, we'd like to take your likeness. We're going to put it on our new, I don't know, radio bot. I don't know. We'll give you $200,000. And I said, all right, sold. I get the money. I keep my house from going into foreclosure. I'm able to get another job, get a car so I can travel further to make more money. And now I'm driving down the street and I see myself pop locking on the corner with the sign talking about furniture, Ashley Furniture, 50% off. And I'm like, the fuck? I turn on the TV, Entertainment Tonight is on, and they're like, check out the new Lil Nas X video and his new hot video vixen guy. And Lil Nas X is licking from the top of my head down the sole of my foot. And I'm like, that ain't me. Now I go back outside. Everybody's like, I see you in that Lil Nas X video. I know you got down like that, bro. That wasn't me. Yeah, it wasn't you. You got a new car. You doing something strange with some chains, bro. I see you dancing on the corner. Like, what you doing? They got you doing all types of wild stuff. They got you underwear modeling. They got you sweeping the parking lots. You're cleaning all the shitters and every rest stop across America. And it's your face, it's your voice. It's got all your mannerisms. It say wild, crazy stuff like you sometimes, so people might laugh. So funny. This robot keeps it so real. And now, you know how people are, teenagers to be exact. They abuse things. Now they're beating up robots in the street, right? Oh, this is a robot. And then, kids vandalize stuff. They take a bat to a robot. Now you walking down the street minding your own business. Your face is on 100,000, 2 million robots walking around. Oh, there's one of those stupid fucking robots, and they bash you over the head. Now you're dead. I'm just saying. It sounds like a Twilight Zone episode to me.
It does to me as well. And that's why I was. Go ahead, Mo. Go ahead.
Or you can they commit a crime.
Exactly. And now you in jail.
And now you in jail.
Now your whole government is out there because you got 3 names because you just assassinated somebody who's important. And it's your face and likeness and your mannerisms. And it's saying your literal catchphrases.
Did you just see, Steve? We got JT haven't seen it yet. The episode of Invincible.
I didn't see that. We ain't gonna talk about that, bro.
This is what JT just talking. You just talking about.
Yeah.
Without even saying.
That's just crazy. But like we were saying, right? So yes, $200,000 is nothing, right? But you already know eventually they'll start raising it up a little bit more and more and more and more. And when they do so, people will be like, oh, I'll do it for 600,000. Now somebody's gonna take the bite, right? Somebody's gonna do it. And if they weren't going to do it, they wouldn't have put the offer out there, to be honest with you. So
true.
You know what I mean? Like, so they might not be biting at 200,000, but who knows when they'll bite. The thing is, I'm not afraid of what's happening or whatever the case may be, because it's the inevitable, right? Do I want it? Have I seen things telling us that we shouldn't have it? Yeah, I have. But you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna change the fact that my son's future is going to be, with that. And can you imagine how scary it'd be if I was just like, yeah, man, I'll take that money, and then something, God forbid,
Oh,
was to
yeah.
happen to me, and then my son sees me walking through the street every day.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I'll tell you, it's like
Yeah.
it's so creepy. And like you said, Twilight Zone, right? Like Twilight Zone.
Mhm.
What's the name of that other joint that's on
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror. This is the type of stuff that we see, and we're like, oh, this is crazy. No way in the world any of this stuff could happen. But everything that I've seen on Black Mirror so far, I'm not lying to you, has happened in the world more recently.
It's called predictive programming.
Yes.
They tell you so that you're not shocked when the shit really pops
It
off.
happens. Like the
That's what they
influencers.
do.
The influencers, right? There was an episode where they had the influencers, and you had to like get a certain amount of likes, and you had to be liked to a certain amount of points in order for you to
And
move to another neighborhood, and blah 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 blah.
That's
Now
You
you
tried
got
to
these
get the plane
influencers.
ticket.
Now that's the
Yes.
same thing
She
now.
lost her shit.
What's
Yep.
happening, right? So the influencers
Social
are those
currency.
people where they become, and it's just weird, dog. But you know what?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Yeah, I'm good as
definitely
well.
all set.
Tell me
Mhm.
tell me what you got to tell me, More Money.
Old Town Road video and shit.
Oh man.
The first thing I thought of when you asked that, I don't know why, but I was like, ruin your whole life for 200 G's. I'm all set.
Oh god.
All
Somebody
right,
gonna
fellas.
take the bite.
What you say?
So somebody gonna take the bite. They're
I
gonna go.
thought you said somebody gonna take the butt. I'm not even
I
gonna
thought he
hold-
said it too.
I'm not. That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
put the rainbow over
yeah,
that man.
Yeah. BBL Fruity Pebbles and man.
Booty munch.
Come on.
Crunch.
Come on, man. Come on. Stop, man. You gotta stop, man. What do you gotta say, dog?
Remix. All right, sorry, people. Sorry. Man, I gotta. Sorry. All right. I'm just gonna come out and say this. Is there such thing as dating too fast after being in a long-term relationship? So I had this discussion with a person today, early morning. Should have been earlier because it really kind of grounded my gears. But they may have been talking to somebody, and the person they were speaking with got out of a long-term relationship, let's just say a marriage, and there were kids involved in the marriage, but they were, pursuing that person, wanted to be pursued by that person, and went on a date or two maybe, and the person says that they think that it may be too early for them to start a relationship. Do you understand?
So it might be too early for the person that got out of the
Got out.
relationship.
Out of the relationship.
Okay. Yeah, I hear that.
So is the person that, is it the perspective of the person that they might be dating, or is it the person that's getting out of a relationship trying to make the decision? Person get out. Okay.
The person in the relationship didn't make that decision. The person in the relationship, the person that's not long-term, didn't have the long-term relationship, is putting that on them.
Like applying the pressure pause. Okay.
Almost saying, I don't think that they're ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is there such thing as dating too fast after being in a long-term relationship? What are your thoughts?
I'm about to put
Go
it
for
on
it, JT.
I'm about to put it on you.
Go for it.
So I met my wife the same day I got broken up with out of a 3-year relationship.
Say it one more time, please.
I met my wife the same day that I got broken up out of a 3-year relationship. And I can see where people are coming from. Oh, it might be too soon, yada, yada, yada. But just to be real and real life, a lot of the times Your last relationship has already been over 3 to 6 months, even maybe a year. And you're just holding on because you want that feeling you had that you got initially when you met that person. So you're holding on. The person you might be checked out already mentally in the situation. You may already have moved on in your head and be ready for the next thing. You just haven't pulled the trigger yet. My scenario, I wasn't blindsided, but it was a lot of fighting going on. And person broke up with me, told me that I wasn't the right person for them, that I needed to move on, and I needed to do something else with my time. I was like 22, 23 years old. My space was popping. I was living in a state all by myself. And the person I was dating was in another state, and which was part of the strife in the relationship as well, long distance relationship type of deal. And I was like, fuck this. I need to be with somebody who I can see on the regular, who's not going to be hounding me and accusing me of stuff because I can see them and all the time. And they know my movements. They know what I'm doing. And I met my wife and we started hanging out, and we've been hanging out ever since. So each person is different. But one thing that I have found, because again, I have lived a life. When me and my wife were dating, we did break up a lot of times. And I would go out and I would go and start talking to different females, as most people do when you leave a relationship. People say they don't want to be the rebound, but ain't nothing wrong with having your balls fondled. All right. So, but I had females tell me in my, mid to late 20s before I got married, oh, you were in a long-term relationship. You're not, they weren't saying fully healed yet, because people didn't say that. You're not ready to be, in another relationship. And I used to be like, you're damn right. I'm not looking to be in another relationship. I just left a 4-year relationship. And before that, I was in a relationship. So you're right. I'm not ready for that. Well, that's what I'm looking for, is what the females would say to me. And you know what my response would be? I'm looking to fuck. And that's where I'm at in my life.
So not dating exclusively.
Yes, I'm not looking for your feelings. I'm not looking to meet your kids. If you got kids, I don't give a shit about your parents. I ain't trying to meet your brother or your sisters. I'm trying to go out with you a couple times a week. Shit, once a week, couple times a week, whatever your schedule calls for. Have some drinks, smoke, eat, watch a movie. And I'm trying to get in them guts at the end of the night. I'm not playing a game. I'm not trying to lead you on. I'm not telling you I'm about to wife you up. This is what I'm looking for currently right now at the moment. You'll be surprised how many women were down for it. You would be surprised how many women would be down for it and say to me, I know you're going to go back to your girlfriend. And I'd be like, how you figure that? And he's like, I just know. And I'd be like, oh, so this ain't the first time you've been to Rebound? And they say no. And I'd be like, oh, well, you can call me Dennis Rodman, because I'm on the Rebound right now. Okay? And ain't nothing wrong with being Dennis Rodman. Okay? When it comes to rebounding, that is.
He's a rebounding king. He's a rebound king.
He's a rebound king. I ain't talking about his antics off the course. I'm talking rebound strictly. Be Dennis Rodman if you get out of a relationship. It is very unfair for a single person who's been getting stroked down by, I don't know, I'm not going to say everybody, but been getting stroked down or put themselves, put their private parts on the shelf or whatever, because they want to be celibate and they want to be born again and they don't just want to give it up. To say to somebody coming out of a long-term relationship where shit might have been toxic, it might have been abusive, to tell that person, oh, I don't think you're ready for a relationship. Everybody ain't coming out of a relationship looking to be in a relationship. Some people just trying to get it in. And personally, I don't see nothing wrong with that. So I see it from that angle because shit, my life came off of a rebound. The life I currently live came off of a rebound. If I live by that rule, oh, I'm not ready for nothing serious yet, I might still be out here running around these streets trying to find something. When not for nothing, I kind of found what I was looking for on the rebound. So you got to take risks in life. What do I say? Everybody says this, but shoot a shoot. And sometimes you miss. And when you miss, get that rebound. Ain't nothing wrong with being the rebound peen. Ain't nothing wrong with being the rebound puss. Because guess what? It's a lot of pent up frustration in those people who is on the rebound. And they're going to knock your walls off. And if you's a man, they're going to crush your pelvis. Take them. Take the bone crushers, fellas. Take them. Ladies, get that man that's going to dirt dig you out. All right? Get the rebound. Steve, what you got?
Oh my goodness. All right. So is getting in a relationship too early? I would like to say, like, to reference what Justin said, it all depends on the person, obviously, and how you feel about the person that you're learning, or the time that you spend with the person that you're getting to know, and how often it happens. Whether you have kids or don't have kids, or just when time permits, and the time that you spend with the person, man, you never know, man, that one or two hookups that you sitting there chilling, watching the movie together, and everything's cool, and whatever. And now you're like, you know what? I actually like hanging out with this person, or I don't want to go out to the bars, the clubs, because it's not really my style. You got a bunch of people on these dating sites like swiping left and right and left with their best phenomenal, pictures on there showing their best sides and telling you how many I go hiking every day, and it's a picture of them hiking on the, it's a bunch of stuff that
I write in my gratitude journal every day.
Yeah, like online dating is an amazing mess, right? But a lot of times dudes hit the women as soon as they get in the DMs, like, what are we doing? And they be like, oh, I'm just looking for, and I want a long term. It's like, I'm a true believer in a level of organic, right? So if things are progressing organically and they turn out to be a relationship, they turn out to be a marriage, then yeah, you could meet somebody on the rebound or bump into somebody at a coffee shop, and y'all organically start to speak and it grows into something, genuine. Then I'm for that. Rushing a scenario like, all right, I just got out of this, so now I need to be in this. It's not necessarily the same thing, right? Like, I believe that if you can organically grow into something like nice and something that you want to do on a daily, or someone that you want to hang out with on a daily basis, then just do that. And then when it becomes what it is, then you'll know. But saying, I just divorced my wife for 20 years, so now I'm going to go out there and, find my next wife. It's like, you don't want to do that. Or find my next husband. You don't want to do that.
That's
What I mean? Yeah, whatever happens, happens. You run into a chick at a bar one night, you have a crazy night. Y'all exchange numbers, have another crazy night a couple of weeks later, and then another crazy night a month down the road, and then it gets wilder. And boom, now you're sitting here watching Netflix with me, and we still having crazy nights. And then it just boom, before you know it, we're going to dinners, restaurants, and now you are possibly in something that you like, all right, yo, I want to consider this. What do you think? Or you could just be like, yo, I'm just trying to fuck. One of the two. But I don't think it's a way that you could say you rush into a scenario. Some people get feelings faster than others. That happens a lot, especially depending upon if your lady friend or your male friend is doing something from a sexual perspective that you've never experienced before. Yeah, you're going to want to have it more often, right? So you're like, hey, I like you a lot. And they're like, hey, I like to fuck you a lot. And it's completely different things. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. It's a lot of different stuff. But, that's how I got to say. Finish it off, man. Pause.
All right.
That's horrible.
So
absolutely horrible.
So again, all right. Let me get this together. In 2025, I don't think that there is anything called a rush at all when it comes to being in and out of a relationship or things being too considered a long-term relationship and you need some time. No, I don't think so. And again, that person was putting that scenario on this other person.
Mm-hmm. It's always the
Me,
single person putting it on the person getting out of a relationship.
yeah, because they're more scared of getting hurt because their intentions may be a certain way,
Yes.
if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, and I'm not saying this for all women, I'm not saying that for all women at all, because everybody's at different places in their lives. But a lot of times when the lady is single and looking for a guy and the guy is coming out of a long-term relationship, a lot of chances are that woman wants a long-term relationship with that guy. A lot of times they are looking for what that guy already just had.
Yes.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying all women, but a lot of men are more risk takers when it comes to relationships and the females in relationships. A lot of guys are more risk takers. They see things a little bit different. I'm not speaking for all guys and I'm not speaking for all ladies. I'm just saying that life is very short and it's long. Pause. So, meaning you don't want to put any scenarios on anybody else. You have to have your intentions clear, which you're trying to do. Because at the end of the day, you're auditioning for that person. You can't be worried about that person's past. You're there now. So if you're there now, you have to look at it like I'm here now. Whatever happened with this person is whatever happened with that person. God bless. But that don't got nothing to do with me. I'm trying to have a good time out here. I'm going to Bali. I'm going to Hawaii. If you rolling, you rolling. If you not, you not. I can care less. But at the end of the day, I don't think a lot of people look at it like that. And sometimes they are like planting the garden before they even bought seeds.
Yes.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times people are planting gardens before they even bought seeds to even put the seeds in the ground. And a lot of times you can't put that on people. You have to have strong intentions and let that be known and be a little bit more aggressive with the situation. So if that person's coming out of a long-term relationship, it's cool to bring out your intentions and say, I'm not looking for this, and the third right now, but in the future we can see where it goes. If that's not for you, it's not for you. Some people's biological clocks are ticking. Some people feel a certain way, and they want that long-term relationship with you. So and then again, that person may want to just start seeing other people and seeing how it is outside
To be single, yeah.
because
Mhm.
they've been in that long-term relationship
Exactly.
and they need that air to not be in a long-term relationship at the moment. Not saying they don't want to see you. They just don't want to see you exclusively the way you want them to be
See
seen.
them, yeah.
Exactly. You went in your relationship. It wasn't no BBLs out there. You might want to see what a BBL is like.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
you may want to see a diaper. So if you want to see a diaper booty, you may want to see a diaper booty. It's none of my business. But again, What? I'm just saying what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. I think people need to just be a little bit more intentional with what they want, and it's okay to say that, and it's okay. It's even okay for a lot of ladies to say, look, they're. I just think it's so different between guys and women, because if women haven't had kids, then they're on a biological clock, depending on the age.
And at
But
our
not all
age,
women want kids, though.
Not
Not all
all.
yeah,
women.
I'm not
but
saying.
still,
I'm
at
not
our
saying.
age, they be in the last few seconds, and they be trying to grab whatever dude to get it.
Let me go this far, Steve. Let me go this far, Steve. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. This may be controversial, whatever the case may be, y'all. But what I'm gonna say is gatherings, gatherings, dates, whatever you want to call them, social gatherings. I think that's more for women and not for men.
What do you mean?
I don't think men give a damn about dating you. I don't think men want to go out there and date nobody like that. They can go chill at the house. They can go chill at the house. If you want to roll through, you want to come through. You're watching Netflix, man. You about to watch Invincible. You about to watch Daredevil, dog.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
understand,
about to
but
drink your wine and stuff like that.
we
No.
we live in a
I
different
think that
time right now,
dating.
Mo. You can't
Oh,
just
yeah.
run up people's cribs randomly first day without even.
What are
Yeah,
you
I mean,
talking about?
meeting and talk.
2025, they do that all the time.
All the safety apps we got now, this is the best time to do it.
They do this all the time, see?
Safety apps.
No,
What
they
you
talking
mean?
about bars.
Find me and all that stuff. You can send your location
Oh,
to
I
your
mean,
people.
still
You
don't mean
ain't
you ain't gonna
never.
get chopped up.
I mean, at
Yeah,
You
least
know
they
what I'm
well,
tell you where
saying?
to
Like
find your body.
true.
maybe.
My point, my point is, man, my point is, I I just think the date stuff is just so childish, man. I think that mess is whack. Hey, dates, going on dates, and let me feed you food. You get your hungry ass. Feed your hungry ass.
This is why you
Ass is
single.
always hungry. Maybe that's why I'm single.
Hey man, look. One of my boys, he has like a minimum he wants to spend on the first date, and if it gets more serious, then maybe a little bit more money or whatever. But he does like ice cream. You know what I'm saying? A walk at the park. Things like that, where it's like, yo, meet me out here so we can walk and talk and get to know each other before I give you a full course meal.
I'm all about the walk. You know what? I'm all about the walk. I want to see if you can walk.
I was gonna say you ain't dating no BBWs, then, Mo. They don't want to walk at all.
I got no comment. I love everybody, y'all. I mean, I have no
I
problem.
love everybody too. I'm just saying
That's
what
not,
time it is.
I don't mind a BBW. Anyway, so I don't know, man. There's all types of different stuff that people get into and what they enjoy, and getting to know each other. But I don't think the dating scene it's frowned upon from our perspective because we're supposed to pay, right? Like that's where it's frowned upon. And then we had this whole crazy thing happening a year ago about the Cheesecake Factory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of stuff that is looked at from a completely different perspective. But if you have a vibe with somebody, you're like, yo, let's go for a walk. We can get to know each other, man. Hit me at Central Park. I'll be at this street. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna ride with you. You meet me at this street. Me and you walk through Central Park. There's all types of cool statues in there and stuff that you can run across. Things that let's do that.
Listen, exactly. You know what? Where do you see yourself in 4 to 5 years?
That question.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, that
How
question.
about that?
That's
I'm trying to see if you.
deep.
I'm trying to see. Yes,
That's
deep.
deep
I
though,
want to
Mo.
see if you dumb or not.
I understand,
You
but
see it
sometimes
real
depending on
fast
if
with
you're
that
dumb or
question.
not, don't matter if you're just trying to smack it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
It's
no, no,
like,
no, 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 Steve. See, I'm intentional, Steve. See, again, I'm looking at it like this. A lot of people, I'm not going to say ladies, they look at the now, what they want right now. No. What you looking for in 4 or 5 years? Where do you see yourself? Not right now. Get through all that. You have to plant seeds. You have to buy the seeds before you think you are going to grow a garden. You can't be over there before you're here. That's where I come from with that.
deep.
But again, I'm a little too deep. Maybe that's why I'm where I am in my life. But again, all right, I digress. Guess it's over. Guess we got it together, fellas.
All right. Well, with that being said, everybody, this is Everybody Has a Mic podcast, episode 13. I'm gonna hit you with some knowledge before I let you go. Always believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in you, ain't nobody gonna believe in you. Don't nobody believe in the person who's always woe is me, because you telling people you a piece of shit and that everything go wrong for you, they're not gonna mess with you. You tell everybody you got it going on and you believe in yourself. Some people is gonna hate, but people ain't hating on you. You're not popping. I said it before. Chinks Drug said it, and it's the truth. Believe in yourself, and everything will come. On that note, we out. Peace out, everyone. Don't
Please
forget
be
to
safe
like and
until the
subscribe.
next. Yeah.